Hello, my name is Aron Times. Let's play Command and Conquer Tiberian Dawn. Command and Conquer Tiberian Dawn, or CNC for short, is an RTS or real-time strategy game released by the now defunct Westwood Studios way back in 1995. This was when I was still in high school. I was young then. No, I wasn't in high school. I was in 4th grade. It popularized the RTS genre, and it was one of the first RTS games to feature asymmetrical factions, as in the two factions in this game don't have identical units which simply look different, like in Warcraft 1 and Warcraft 2. It is a battle between the Global Defense Initiative, or GDI, think of them as UN peacekeepers, or NATO, versus the Brotherhood of Nod. Think of them like Al-Qaeda or ISIS, but much, much more technologically sophisticated. They fight over Tiberium, a very toxic but precious resource that came from space! Anyway, this game features full motion videos, CGI, and amateur and semi-professional actors, which give it its own unique charm. Its music is done by the wonderful Frank Lapacki, who did the music for pretty much all of Westwood's games, and some of the games that were published by EA after it bought Westwood. CNC is actually my third RTS game after Red Alert and StarCraft. Red Alert is Command & Conquer Red Alert, which is the prequel to CNC, before the Red Alert series was retconned by EA to be a completely different universe. I played CNC first when my cousins brought their CD to my dad's office when they came to visit, and I played the game on my late father's PC. Without further ado, let's play as the Brotherhood of Nod.
Brotherhood of Nod selected.
So, you're the new addition to the Brotherhood. Well, I'm Seth, just Seth. From God to Cain to Seth. I am his right hand, and I have a task for you. This is Nakumba, and he is causing the Brotherhood much grief. His views do not coincide with ours, and that makes him dangerous. Silence him.
Alright, the game begins. This is a classic RTS game, so the early missions are pretty easy, and the game ramps up in difficulty very quickly after, I believe, mission 4. Here we start out with a Nod buggy. Let me see if I can get the tooltip to pop up. There we go. The Nod buggy is an anti-infantry scouting vehicle. Okay, got interrupted by some GDI forces. Let's kill them first. Alright, it's used for scouting, basically clearing the shroud so you can see stuff, and for shooting down infantry. Let's shoot this guy down. The other unit type I start out with is the minigunner. Oh, come on, stop interrupting me. There we go. The minigunner is a anti-infantry infantry unit. It's available to both GDI and Nod, and it's the cheapest combat unit available. Both of these units are good for shooting down infantry and buildings, and not much else. They get owned pretty much by tanks and other heavily armored units. This first mission is just this is just to get the player used to the controls. You select units by left-clicking them or lassoing them with your left mouse button. But unlike modern RTS games, you issue commands by left-clicking on the enemy unit or the area you want your units to move to. There is no attack move, but there is a guard command by pressing G. When you press G, like so, all selected units stop and they attack everything within range of them. So it's kind of like a makeshift attack move command, or shall we say the predecessor to the attack move. G. There we go. See, the rifle infantry units immediately move in to attack the enemy. Now that unit we just destroyed was the Hummer, or Humvee. It is the GDI equivalent of the Nod buggy. Its stronger but more expensive than the Nod buggy. GDI units tend to be stronger and more expensive than the Nod counterparts. That's an example of the asymmetrical factions of this game. And here's our mission objective, to kill the village warlord, and he's dead. Mission accomplished. As this is a pretty old game, as you can see, the score screen is pretty simple. There are no achievements yet. You are judged for leadership and efficiency. Leadership is based on how many units you lost during the mission. So if you didn't lose any units, you'd have 100% leadership. Efficiency is based on how much Tiberium you spent and how much you earned. Since I didn't spend anything, I got 100% efficiency. Now let's type my name here. Aron times. Enter. And we now move on to mission 2. This is our world map. The Nod campaign has the Brotherhood of Nod and the Global Defense Initiative fight over Africa. As you can see here, this is the territory that Nod controls, the red part, and the yellow part, or shall I say gold part, is the territory that GDI controls. For our second mission, we're given the choice of 2 places to attack, either the top part of Egypt or the bottom part of Egypt. Unlike its contemporaries, your choices do matter in this game, although it doesn't affect the ending itself. What happens is, depending on which choice you make, you get a slightly different mission. For mission 2, if I recall correctly, you get a slightly different mission, but in some missions you get a completely different mission, but you still advance to the next mission normally. So, since I'm a coward, I'm gonna go with the attack path that's closer to Nod territory, this one at the bottom here. When you choose your mission, you get some stats on the country that you're attacking. Egypt, population 56,386,000 people. These are the stats for way back in 1995. Expendability, 75%. So Nod feels that it has a 75% expendability, which means they don't really care much for it. The capital is Cairo. Yes, it is still Cairo as of this day. It is a republic. Government corruptibility is 18%. Somehow Nod has accurate stats on how corrupt the government is. Its net worth is 39.2 billion. Yada yada yada. Yeah, some other stuff that's not relevant. Click to continue.
Back so soon? Let's see how you do with something important. For too many years, GDI forces have maintained a stranglehold on Egypt. It's fallen upon us to liberate these citizens crying out for a better way of life. Kane wants to establish a base here to eliminate the smothering presence of GDI. It's too risky to move our heavy forces in, so we want you to sneak in with a few expendable troops and set up a forward attack post. By the way, there's more than enough Tiberium for you to harvest. That should easily pay your expenses. If you are detected, you fail. If you fail, you die.
The wonders of mid-1990s CGI. It looks so dated now, but to my young eyes back then, this was amazing. Alright, so we start with some minigunners and 3 Nod buggies. Then we start with this wonderful unit here called the Mobile Construction Vehicle. You double click on it and you set up your base. The first thing that becomes available to you... annoying. Okay, they're gone now. The first structure that's available to construct is the power plant. You can think of this as a pylon for structures if you're a StarCraft player, except that what it does is it increases your power over here, which allows you to support more structures. Go away. The next structure to build is the Hand of Nod. This is the Nod Barracks. This allows you, you to create your infantry units. Let's place it here. And finally we're going to build a refinery. This is the minigunner. As you can see, he costs 100 credits. He is the cheapest unit in the game. And this is a unique unit to the Command & Conquer series. Let's place our refinery here.
New construction.
The engineer is a unit that can capture enemy buildings. You just send him into an enemy building, he enters, and the building is
Unit
yours.
ready.
So for 500 credits, you can capture any building in the game. If you capture an enemy mobile construction yard or an enemy barracks or whatever, you can start building that faction's units. So it is actually possible to build both NOD units and GDI units at the same time. So the mission for this is... Okay, this is embarrassing. Apparently I wasn't paying attention to that guy yammering on in the briefing. Let's see, restate. GDI has kept a stranglehold in Egypt for many years. Set up a forward attack base in your area. To do this, you must double-click on your mobile construction vehicle. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I didn't actually need any engineers. I'll just put some minigunners and steamroll the enemy.
Unable to comply. Building in progress.
Oh, I almost forgot.
Ready.
This green plant-like things at the top are the, or rather, it's the Tiberium. It's the resource for the game. Think of them as minerals and Vespine gas combined. And
Building.
they're toxic to infantry. For example, if I send some infantry to move through here, you'll notice that he's taking some damage and eventually he will actually die. Since I don't want to waste, let's see if I can get him killed here.
Building.
In the name of science and Let's Plays on YouTube.
Building.
Right, breathe in those toxic fumes.
Unit.
Ah! He's dead. Alright, enough fooling around.
Building.
Let's build some minigunners and finish off the enemy.
Comply. Building in progress. Unit ready. Unable to comply.
There's no
Building in
queuing in this game.
Unit
You have to
ready.
click one by one,
Unit
which can
ready.
get really tedious. But the nice thing is if you
Building.
build a unit,
Unit
you can
ready.
cancel it for a full refund at any time,
Building.
like this.
On hold.
You get a full
Cancel.
refund.
Building. Our base is under. Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit ready.
Okay, let's separate the engineers here.
Building.
I'm not only gonna annihilate his forces, I'm gonna capture his entire base for the glory of Nod.
Unit ready. Building. Unit ready. Building. Building.
And one thing I can do to make the base capture easier is to pre-build a hand of Nod.
Building.
You can build anywhere instantly if you pre-build and you have another structure there.
Building.
So if I capture one of his buildings, I can place a hand of Nod there
Building.
and then immediately start training engineers in his base. I press G to attack.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Alright. Let's not attack that harvester.
Unit lost. Building.
Training.
Unit
Engineers. Alright, kill. Oh, I can just capture his barracks and his silo and his refinery. Let's do this.
ready. Silos needed.
Ah,
GDI building captured. GDI
There we go.
building captured.
engineer.
Primary building selected.
Put this down.
Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit lost.
Captures MCV.
Building.
Minigunners,
Unit
minigunners,
building,
minigunners,
building.
more
Unit
minigunners.
ready. GDI
Alright,
building
defend the base.
captured.
Let's
Building,
capture everything.
building.
We're gonna need a
Unit
power plant. We're
ready.
low on power.
Construction complete. Unit lost.
This is a lot more opposition than I remember. I think this is because this is a modded version of the game, and they made a lot of the stuff harder. Because I don't remember this much opposition when I last played this. Let's capture the silo.
Building.
Let's
GDI
capture the
building captured.
last power plant.
Unit ready.
And I think this is the last unit. Let's take out this
GDI
Humvee.
building captured. Unit lost. Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. More cutting edge CGI. Yes, this is way before Warcraft 2 and StarCraft 1 and Warcraft 3. I was about to say that this came before Warcraft 1. Warcraft 1 was actually released 1 year before Command & Conquer, so that would have been inaccurate. Alright, score screen. I probably, yep, 29%, so I lost 71% of my forces. And my efficiency is 21% because I spent so much money trying to capture that base. So GDI lost 59 units, I lost 4, explosive wind deaths. That is a loud building explosion. Oh my goodness. Aron times. Enter. And we're back to the world map. Where will we be attacking next? Aha! We now control Egypt and this country over here in the middle, whose name I do not know. I apologize. Geography is not my strongest subject. Two choices. We can go either left, which is further from Nod territory. Actually, it's closer to Nod territory. Or we can go to the right, which is close to GDI territory. I am a coward. I shall choose the closer mission. We are going to Sudan. Some stats, 28 million people, 50% expendability, blah blah blah. A really corrupt government, 52% of the government is corrupt. And military strength respectable. In some of the later missions, some of their stats are kind of insulting to the countries. Like, some of the countries have military strength laughable or irrelevant, or I may be misremembering things, but let's continue. Click to continue.
Cain is going to be pleased to hear how skillfully you've handled yourself. And a word from me to Cain goes a long way in the Brotherhood. These walls imprison many friends and members of the Brotherhood. Free them regardless of cost. Overwhelm the prison, but leave it standing.
My goodness. When I was a kid, this looked so awesome, but now it's so fake. Alright, we start with an MCV, we deploy it,
New construction.
and
Options.
create a power plant.
Building.
So we now have a new unit at our disposal. This is the recon
Construction
bike.
complete.
Go away.
New
Alright.
construction.
Gonna build a
Options.
refinery for
Building.
resources. The recon bike is an anti-armor scout unit. It fires rockets instead of a machine gun. And it's pretty much like the Nod buggy, except it's best used against armored targets.
Building.
Alright, our harvester is harvesting.
Construction complete. Not deploying here.
It's a grenadier. This is another example of the asymmetrical factions. The Brotherhood of Nod does not get to train grenadiers. Let's see, do I get an airstrip? No, I do not. We'll just make a
Building.
communication center. And so we also have another new unit, the Rocket Soldier.
Building.
This is the infantry version of the recon bike.
Unit
It
ready.
carries a rocket launcher, and it's good against armor and aircraft, but he can't hit
Construction complete.
enemy infantry. Well, he can hit them, but he won't deal a lot of damage. That's for game balance purposes. As you've noticed, we now have a minimap at the top right of the screen.
Building.
In Command & Conquer games, you typically do not start with a free minimap, unlike in the Warcraft and Starcraft games. You actually have to build a radar center. In this game, it's called the Communication Center, to be able to have a minimap. And if you lose that, or if you go into low power, you lose your minimap. So we'll just group these fast vehicles to one control group, the infantry into another control group, and the engineers to number 3.
Building.
Alright.
Unable to comply.
It's just a matter of overwhelming the enemy.
Unable to
We're gonna
comply.
scout these
Building
vehicles.
progress. Building. Unit ready. Building.
Oh, Tiberium here.
Ready.
Okay, I'm gonna retreat. I can't stand toe-to-toe against the GDI force.
Unit ready. Building. Unit ready. Silos moving. Building.
In case you're wondering what the silos needed message was, if you harvest too much Tiberium and you don't spend it, you actually cannot harvest more Tiberium. Oops, I ran out of power.
Building.
As you can see, my minimap went out.
Construction
If I'm not
complete.
mistaken, each refinery can only store 2,000 credits. So if you don't spend your money, you actually will not gain any more
Building.
money until you spend it or you build more silos or
Unit
refineries.
ready. Building.
Let's just build some stuff and steamroll the enemy base.
Unit ready. Building. Unable to comply. Building
Now,
in
if memory
progress.
serves,
Unable to
this is the
comply.
last
Building in
easy
progress.
mission
Unable to comply.
for the
Building in
Brotherhood of
progress.
Nod campaign.
Unable to comply. Building in
Way
progress.
back when this game was released, it was common for video games to be Nintendo hard, as in you actually have to reload several times to be able to finish the mission. Because you will make mistakes, you will lose your units, and you will be so far behind that you will not be able to recover.
Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unable to comply. Building in progress.
Moving out.
Unit ready.
and waiting.
Unit ready.
Alright, press G.
Lost.
Looks just like a makeshift attack move button.
Moving out.
Building.
My Tiberium's running out. Let's send this guy to harvest from this far field.
Yes, sir. Waiting order. Moving out.
Building.
Rocket soldier. Let's add more.
Yes, sir. Ready if you
Unit
Yes,
ready.
sir. Moving out. Right away, sir. Not a problem. Yes, sir. Knowledge.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Now here's something interesting about this game. If you attack the enemy harvester, the AI player will go absolutely nuts and send all of its units to attack you.
Unit ready.
Oh my goodness, he's attacking.
Building.
Wow, he's
Unable
going
to
crazy.
comply. Building in progress. Unable to comply. Building in progress.
He is ignoring my engineers though, which is nice. That's an example of artificial stupidity.
Unit ready. Unit
Oh wow, what
lost.
happened?
Building.
Oh, they blew up my power
Ready.
plant. That's not
Building.
nice.
Construction complete. Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Ready and
Let's see, where's the enemy base? It must be somewhere in the shroud. G, there we go. Mini gunner.
Unit ready.
moving out. Affirmative.
Alright, let's send. Oh, and here's another thing I forgot to mention. There are no rally points, so you actually have to manually
Building.
move your units from your production
Unit
facilities
ready.
to the front
Building.
lines. And there's also no attack move, so you have to either press S to stop them or press G for guard mode.
Yes, sir.
And let's blow up this harvester.
Yes, sir. Knowledge.
Unit lost. Building. Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Now, unlike other games released in this time period, the computer actually has finite resources, so the computer will run out of resources if you kill all of its harvesters.
Unit lost.
Alright, let me see. One of the oh, there's no crate. One of the I don't know if you can call it a running gag, but one of the things about the CNC series is that usually if you blow up a church, you'll find a crate there. Crates are like power-ups in other games. They can contain a lot of stuff like an all heal, which will heal all of your units and structures, or cash. If I'm not mistaken, in this game it's all cash, except for that one mission I think, where you can get. Alright, we captured this barracks with the now trained engineers.
GDI building captured. Unit
Capture
ready.
this.
Building. GDI building.
We don't actually need to do this, but it just inflates my score, and I like large numbers. Engineer.
Unit ready. GDI building.
Just have to capture the, where's the prison? The prison,
GDI
here it is.
building captured.
Oh my goodness, I can't kill any of that.
Ready. Building. Unit ready.
Oh, another thing, if you'll notice, I captured a GDI barracks, so I can now make grenadiers.
Building.
Rocket soldier.
Unit ready.
I need rocket
Building.
soldiers to take that out so it doesn't take out my
Building.
engineer.
Unit ready.
Right, we're gonna use the harvester to tank the guard tower. I mean, then we can send the infantry to blow it up. Ooh.
Reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Our base.
Hey, go away. Alright, you send the engineer to capture the prison, and we have now liberated some terrorists to join the cause,
GD
our
mission
cause.
accomplished.
Mission accomplished. Oh, it's Western forces running from ISIS or Al Qaeda. Except they have tanks. Wow, I have not played this game in a long time. My leadership is 31%, efficiency 12%, but hey, I won. And GDI is still losing much more than not. Alright. I believe this is the last easy mission. The next mission is going to be pretty hard. So I think I'm going to take a break here and come back later when I'm rested. I also need a refill in my coffee, which has run out. Alright, enter.